Hey, if you're raising money or trying to scale past 500,000 in revenue, you've probably realized something. Your product is good, your team is solid, but investors just don't seem to get it. You've tried the standard advice: big vision, total address market slide, hockey stick projection, and they still say, not ready, or come back later. I've been there. I raised 7 million for my last company, oversubscribed, three Hollywood shareholders, and I didn't use a fancy deck. I didn't have a perfect pitch. What I had was a narrative, a story that made investors feel like they'd miss out if they say no. And today, I want to show you how you can build that same narrative, even if you're not a natural storyteller, even if you're in a creative field that investors don't usually understand. Let's get into it. All right. Here's the thing: investors speak a different language, right? They care about scale, exit, multiples. You care about craft, vision, and impact. So when you talk to them, you end up doing one of two things. Either you get super technical, you talk about your TAMs, your CAC, LTV, and you sound like everyone else. Or you go full creative, mission, the purpose, beautiful work, and they glaze over. Neither of those approach works. I learned this the hard way. My first few pitches were very creative. I talked about the art, the culture, the unique approach. Investors nodded politely. Then they ghosted. Then I switched to pure numbers. And they asked, but why you? Why now? And I had no answer. The breakthrough came when I stopped trying to fit into their box and started building my own narrative. A narrative that made them see my creative work as an asset, not a risk. Okay, so here's the framework I use now. It's 3 parts. Simple, no jargon. Part 1, the before versus after. You need to paint 2 pictures. The before, what your customer struggles with today, and the after, right? What their life will look like after your solution. But here's the key: make it measurable. Don't say better branding, right? Say we increase customer LTV by 40% within 90 days. Investors need to see the gap. That gap is your value. Part 2, the unfair advantage. Why you? Why not someone else? For me, it was my time at Sony, EA, Riot Games. I've seen how big entertainment companies think, and most founders haven't. Your unfair advantage could be your creative network, your unique process, your proprietary data, or even your way of working with clients. And don't be shy about this. It's not bragging, it's evidence. Part 3, the scarcity trigger. This is the part that most founders miss. You need to make investors feel that if they don't act now, they'll lose the chance. I did this by raising a small insider round of 4 million from angels who actually used my product. Then I went back to the big investors and said, we're closing. Door closes Friday. Suddenly, they weren't evaluating my business. They were competing for allocation. And that's the narrative shift. Okay, so let me walk you through exactly how this played out. 3 months before I closed the round, every Hollywood investor laughed at my deck. Too small, not enough traction. Come back when you're real, right? I didn't argue. I didn't chase. Instead, I raised the 4 million from people who already knew my work. Real users, real angel investors, nothing fancy. Then I sent one email to the same Hollywood exec. It said, we've closed 4 million internally. We're opening to strategic partners for the remaining 4 internally. We're reopening up to strategic partners for the remaining 3 million. Pro rata expires Friday. Let me know if you want in. No begging, no demo, just a deadline. Within 48 hours, 3 of them wired shareholder agreements. They didn't suddenly love my company more. They just hated missing the train that was already leaving. That's the power of narrative. Not a better pitch, a better process. Okay, so if you're watching this and you're in that 500K to 2 million revenue range, here's my advice. 1, don't build a deck first. Build your story. Write down what's the before versus after. What's your unfair advantage? How will you create scarcity? 2, start small. Raise from people who already believe in you. Clients, friends, industry peers. That early money gives you leverage. 3, be comfortable with silence. When you present your round, don't feel every pause. Let them, sit with the fear of missing out. 4, don't lower your valuation to get a quick yes. That signals desperation. Hold firm, right? Add value instead of discounting. I know this feels uncomfortable if you're a creative person. You might feel like you're being salesy, but here's the truth. Investors want to back confident founders who understand their own worth. If you don't believe in your narrative, why should they? Now, if you want me to walk you through this step by step, including the exact emails the deadline tactics, and the 5-part framework I use to craft oversubscribed rounds, I've created something for you. It's a 2-session paid webinar. Session 1 is Client Acquisition OS, how to build a pipeline that attracts investors and high-ticket clients without the cold outreach. Session 2, Oversubscribed Seed Round OS, the exact systems I use to raise $7 million with 3 Hollywood shareholders, including the narrative template and the scarcity playbook. This is not a free training. It's a small investment of $97 for both sessions because I want only serious founders who are ready to implement. No fluff, no group coaching calls, just the frameworks, the templates, and the recorded Q&A. If you're interested, DM or comment with the word webinar on whatever social media platform that you're watching this now. Spots are limited. I'm keeping it small so I can actually answer your specific questions. Thanks for watching. I know fundraising can feel intimidating, especially when you come from a creative background. But you don't need to become a different person. You just need a better narrative. Build your before versus after. Highlight your unfair advantage. Create scarcity. And don't be afraid to start small. You got this. Give this video a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.